So we're here with Patrick Bach, executive game producer for Battlefield 3. Okay, so first up, I'm gonna maybe a bit bad, but I've heard that DICE has put their blood, sweat and tears into ensuring that Battlefield 3 lives up to the hype that EA Arts has set up for it so far. And we're here, basically, we've heard previous things about Battlefield solo campaigns not being fully scratched in multiplayer, off the world track, best there is. What have you done? How do you feel that you've kind of handled this in like going the solo campaigns? You're going to live up to the other games.
I think in general, first of all, Battlefield is all about multiplayer. It's always been and it will always be. It's in the core and heart, it's a multiplayer game. But then, of course, we wanted to create a very unique and specific single-player experience. So, in general, for us, our goal was to create something that felt truly unique when it comes to what we see as a great narrative single-player experience. We also took a very keen eye on making sure that it's not like multiplayer, because we wanted the experience to be very distinct. Multiplayer needs to be multiplayer, single player needs to be single player. So having all the things in single player that you can't really have in multiplayer and vice versa was very important for us. So there's of course there's a big focus on the narrative and making sure that it feels authentic and there's an interesting storyline, but also making sure that you can get you try out a lot of the weapons and gadgets and vehicles that you have in multiplayer, also in single player. So you can see it as a tutorial in a way for multiplayer. So if people play the campaign, they will probably see that this is not like any other first-person shooter. Even though, of course, there will be similarities between stuff. It's a first-person shooter game. But in general, we have our very own story. We have our own pacing. We try to use the full spectrum of kind of pacing that you can have in a game. We go from really quiet moments to very bombastic moments. So it's not the guitar solo all the way through that some games have. We try to create something that is truly Battlefield.
Brilliant. So the game's come out of alpha testing now, am I correct? And
yeah, we're past that.
Yeah.
So the game is more or less being shipped to the stores as we speak.
So you've gone golden?
Oh yes.
Everything brilliant?
Yes.
Was there any, when it came back from alpha, was there any kind of, you noticed straight away going, oh, I want to tweak that a bit more before it goes back out?
Absolutely. There's always stuff that they can tweak. There's always things we can do better. The game is so big, so it's impossible for us to know everything, even when we launch the game. Even if we have a massive testing of the game, there will be so many people logging on day one that we will for sure find things that we can tweak and make this weapon a bit weaker or stronger or stuff like that. So we have a whole team looking at the post-launch campaign of the game, making sure that we have everything up and running so we can get stuff out there as soon as possible.
Brilliant. So we're going to hold you to that now. What lessons has DICE taken from your previous games? So will Battlefield 3 feel more like BF2 or with Bad Company?
I think it's the goal for Battlefield 3 is to be a successor to the Battlefield 2 game. So the goal has not been to make a Bad Company game or of any kind. The game is based on Battlefield 2 at its core. Now, of course, we built the Bad Company series as well, and we used a lot of the ideas and the kind of features that we came up with in those games to implement in Battlefield 3. Destruction is one of those areas where we actually think that adds a lot to not only the experience of being on the battlefield, but also to the actual tactical gameplay of shooting down a wall or taking out that cover for that sniper that you wanted to get to. So there's a lot of features that we borrowed from all our Battlefield games, but the heart and soul comes from Battlefield 2.
So there's obviously a few competitors out there for you in the first-person shooter market. Have you looked at any of them and gone, God damn, I want that in the game. I'm gonna go, oh yeah, we need that. How can we tweak it? I want it.
Well, of course we play all games out there. There's always someone playing any obscure game on the market, and we collect feedback and say what's cool, what's not cool. We make sure to be on par with what gaming should be for 2011. But yes, we've been finding a lot of cool features in other games. But the most interesting is that you don't find the coolest features in other first-person shooters. You find it in completely different games.
Yeah.
Because there's a kind of a fatigue sometimes in a genre where everyone is copying each other. But what games should do is actually look at other genres to see what's interesting and cool in those. And of course, we've done that for Battlefield
3. In 3 words, if you can do it, why should people buy Battlefield 3?
In 3 words, I would say variation, vehicles, and destruction.
Brilliant, Patrick. Thank you very much.